You know, if you're running a business, technology can feel like your best friend one day and your worst enemy the next. One minute it's helping you grow, the next you're just putting out fires, worrying about security, dealing with random downtime. It completely pulls your focus from what you should be doing. So let's talk about a better way.
So, does this sound familiar? You're right in the middle of a huge project and bam, the server crashes. Or some weird software glitch brings everything to a grinding halt. It's this frustrating cycle that so many businesses just accept as, the cost of doing business. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way?
For years, the standard way to handle IT was what we call the break/fix model. Something breaks, you make a panicked call for help, you wait, and then you get a bill. It is 100% reactive. The modern approach, called managed services, completely flips that on its head. It's all about getting ahead of problems before they can even start.
All right, so let's dig into why that old reactive model is just so dangerous in today's world. The truth is, the stakes have gotten incredibly high, both in terms of your money and your security.
Just think about it for a second. When your systems go down, it's not just a minor inconvenience, right? Sales stop, production stops, your team's productivity just tanks. The actual cost is almost always way, way higher than you'd guess.
$300,000. Now that is a huge, kind of scary number for any business, but what it represents is even scarier. That's right. A 2020 survey found that's the average cost for just one single hour of server downtime. With that old reactive break/fix model, you're literally always paying for downtime, and you can see how those hours could add up terrifyingly fast. So downtime is one massive problem, but cybersecurity? That's a whole other beast. The attacks are getting more sophisticated, they're happening more often, and believe me, no business is too small to be a target anymore.
And here's another number that should really make you sit up and pay attention. Nearly $267,000. Yep, that's the average price tag for cleaning up after just one successful cyber attack. And we're talking about the common stuff here, like those tricky phishing emails that fool an employee, or credential theft where hackers literally get the keys to your kingdom. Being reactive in this environment isn't a strategy, it's a massive liability.
Okay, so if the old way is totally broken, what's the solution? Well, this brings us to the hero of our story, the Managed Services Provider, or MSP.
Here's the key thing to understand. An MSP isn't just an on-call repair shop. They are a strategic partner. They use all sorts of specialized tools to monitor, manage, and protect your entire tech setup 24/7. And they do it all for a predictable, flat monthly fee. No more surprise bills.
And this quote just nails it. It really gets to the heart of the matter. This is a fundamental shift from being in a constant state of emergency to one of stability and control, where your technology is actively being maintained to prevent fires, not just put them out.
Now, it's really important to know that MSPs are not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. And that's actually the best part. You can find a model that is tailored perfectly to your company's specific size and needs. So let's look at the 3 most common ways this works.
First up, you've got the fully outsourced model. This is your go-to option for businesses that don't have any internal IT staff. The MSP handles absolutely everything, from day-to-day user help desk stuff all the way up to high-level strategy. It's also a great fit if you do have an IT person, but you want them focused on big-picture innovation, not resetting passwords all day.
Next, there's co-managed IT. Think of this as a true partnership. Your internal IT team stays right where they are, but the MSP comes in as backup. They handle the daily grind, all the monitoring, the maintenance, the support tickets. This keeps your team from getting buried and frees them up to focus on those bigger projects that actually move the business forward.
And finally, we have advanced skill augmentation. This is for companies that already have a solid IT department, but they need access to really specific, high-level skills. Think complex cloud architecture or advanced cybersecurity defense. The MSP basically brings in the specialists that you probably couldn't afford or even find a hire full-time.
So, we know what an MSP is, and we know the different ways they can work with you. But let's get down to the bottom line. The question everyone asks, does it actually make financial sense for my business?
A common myth is that outsourcing your IT has to be more expensive. But when you really start to break down the true cost of building your own in-house IT department, well, the numbers might just surprise you.
Take a look at this breakdown. For a pretty typical 30-person company, the cost of hiring just one IT support engineer, plus the essential software and tools they need to do their job, comes out to over $78,000 a year.
Now compare that to a fully outsourced managed services plan for that exact same company, which comes in around $54,000. That's a pretty significant saving right out of the gate.
And here's another way to think about it that really puts it into perspective. For the annual cost of that one IT engineer, you could get full MSP support for 39 users. Now, ask yourself, can one person realistically provide proactive 24/7 support for 39 people and have time to work on strategic projects? The answer is almost certainly no. This is all about shifting your budget from just firefighting to actually funding innovation.
Okay, the case for an MSP is pretty compelling. But, and this is a big but, not all MSPs are created equal. So if you decide this is a path worth exploring, how in the world do you choose the right partner and, just as importantly, avoid the wrong ones?
All right, here are the green flags, the good signs. You want to look for a provider that has really clear service level agreements, or SLAs. Those are just the formal promises they make about service quality and how fast they'll respond. They should also be offering strategic planning, acting like a real partner in your growth, and have flexible contracts that don't lock you in forever.
And on the flip side, here are the big red flags to watch out for. If they don't have any clear SLAs, if they try to lock you into a contract with super expensive exit clauses, or if they offer some rigid one-size-fits-all package, run away. And honestly, most importantly, if security doesn't seem to be their absolute #1 priority in every single conversation, they are not the right partner for any modern business, period.
Ultimately, this whole conversation really boils down to one final, crucial question you have to ask yourself. Do you see your technology as just another expense on a spreadsheet, a cost center you're always trying to shrink? Or do you see it as a powerful strategic asset that can actively drive your business forward into the future? Finding the right partner can make all the difference in the world.